Hi guys, this is Chris Annie, the host of Cryptolife podcast, and welcome to episode 3. Guys, go get your friends, your loved ones to listen to this third edition or episode 3 of Cryptolife podcast. And today I'm going to be sharing about Bitcoin facts. So guys, today I'm going to be sharing some basic things you got to know about Bitcoin, and this is the part 1 of Bitcoin facts. It's going to be a series, probably up to 4 or 5, and I'm going to be sharing things you need to know about Bitcoin. So guys, let's quickly go. Remember, this podcast is brought to you by the leading platform for Bitcoin, blockchain, and crypto trading education, Cryptohub.club. Okay, so the first thing I want you to know first is that number one fact about Bitcoin: no single entity or government has control over the Bitcoin network. You see, the Bitcoin network is so big that we have the miners, we have the node operators, we have the users, the wallet users, we have the exchangers, and several components in this community or in this network. Hence, one sector does not determine who has control over Bitcoin, and that's what makes it decentralized. There are miners who even mine empty blocks and they don't get recognized. You know why? Because the node does not recognize them, and once you are not in tally with the node, you can control the entire Bitcoin network. There's a set of rules. Bitcoin is controlled and regulated by mathematics. No government, not even China, not even Australia, not even the USA controls the Bitcoin network. Hence, it is decentralized. Number 2, all Bitcoin transactions are transparent and can be seen on the blockchain. So let's say I meet Mrs. Amaka, who lives in Imo State, and my name is Taiwo, and I'm somewhere in Ondo State, and I send you Bitcoin. And if Taiwo sends Bitcoin to Amaka and Amaka claims she has not received it, we're going to check on the blockchain. It's been happening like this for the past 10 years. We're going to check on the blockchain, and we're going to see if what Amaka is saying is true or if what Taiwo is saying is not true. So it's transparent. Whatever I send to you can be seen on the blockchain. That's why you can see some government resent the blockchain technology, because it promotes transparency. So all Bitcoin transactions are transparent and can be seen on the blockchain. Number 3, Bitcoin started trading for $0.03 on the first Bitcoin exchange called Bitcoin Market. It's now defunct in March 2010. Yes, that's when the major Bitcoin trading started. People began to exchange Bitcoin on a market called Bitcoin.com. It's now defunct. So it's one of the facts you've got to know. Number 4, Satoshi Nakamoto is a name used by the person who designed Bitcoin, but there are still doubts about the real identity. So today, we don't know if Satoshi is a man or a woman. Some of you don't even know if I'm Satoshi. I may be Satoshi and you don't know. Or my friend Tony, the guy behind Crypto Team, may be Satoshi and we don't know. Or probably you are Satoshi and we don't know. Or it's possible Satoshi is listening to this podcast and we don't know. So we don't know but we have it that Satoshi is not just one person, or maybe just one person who had a group of people he worked with to build this technology called Bitcoin. Now, another thing you need to know: 80% of Bitcoins have been mined. According to the 80% of Bitcoin have been mined. Let me share with you. There will only be 21 million Bitcoin, and the last Bitcoin will be mined by 2140. That is 2140. Year 2140. That's when the last Bitcoin will be mined. And Bitcoin mining difficulty keeps increasing each year. Currently, we have over 17 million Bitcoin that has been mined. Hence, we have just less than 4 million Bitcoin remaining. Imagine if you just own one Bitcoin. Owning Bitcoin today is like owning gold in 1934. It's a big asset class, a great innovation for the times ahead. So you must know that there will only be 21 million Bitcoin that has been mined. Now, do you know that in the past 10 years, I guess this is number 5 or so, Bitcoin is the best asset class with the highest return on investment in the past 10 years. Bitcoin, I'm going to share more on this. And do you know, if you imagine you bought Bitcoin 0.0, let's say you bought $1 of Bitcoin in 2010 for maybe just $1 of Bitcoin, and you invested just $1 of Bitcoin, $1 into Bitcoin, and 0.03 divided by 1, 1 divided by 0.03, you have 33 Bitcoin. As of 2010, $1 will buy 33 Bitcoin. And imagine if today Bitcoin is around 12,000 US dollars. So 33 Bitcoin times 12,000 US dollars. That's $400,000. If you invested $1 in Bitcoin in 2010, you have $400,000 today. Go check Google and confirm if what I'm saying is the truth. So I've talked on number 1. I've talked about how Bitcoin, no single entity controls Bitcoin, number 1. 2, Bitcoin transactions are transparent. 3, Bitcoin started trading for $0.03 on Bitcoin market in 2010. Nigeria has the largest Bitcoin trading volume weekly in Africa and almost in the top 5 in the world. So Nigeria has billions of dollars we trade every week on Bitcoin. There are various OTC platforms, various exchanges, and we are number 1 in Africa. And that's why you should take Bitcoin serious if you're in Africa, if you're in Nigeria, because it's a big one. Number 7 or number 8. Number 8, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. There are over 4,000 Bitcoin ATMs in the world, meaning there are places where you can go to and use your card to buy Bitcoin or send Bitcoin or receive cash or Bitcoin, or even use cash to pay for Bitcoin. So it's an interesting ball game because 4,000 ATMs. It keeps on increasing and increasing and increasing and keeps on increasing and increasing. And who knows, by this time next year, we may be talking about 8,000 or even 10,000 Bitcoin ATM across the world. Another good thing about Bitcoin, another Bitcoin fact you should get is this. Bitcoin fees are cheaper than Western Union and MoneyGram. Bitcoin fees. Now, if I'm going to send money from the United States of America to Nigeria, I'm going to use, if I want to send 1,000 US dollars, Western Union charges could be 10 to 15%, meaning Western Union could charge me $100 to $150 to send $1,000. So when the money comes, you're going to receive $900 or so. So that's the charge. But for Bitcoin, with $1,000, you can be spending very less, maybe $1 or even $0.5 or $0.1. Of course, there are other crypto assets that even spend less, and it's so easy. And guess what? Western Union will take days, sometimes even week, but Bitcoin has no limit, and Bitcoin comes immediately. So if you are sending Bitcoin from America to Nigeria, it takes seconds to get it, but Western Union, it takes 10, maybe 3 working days, maybe 5 working days, depending. And it's the best way to transfer money in any part of the world. So if you have a loved one who is in the United States of America and he wants to send you money in Nigeria, tell the person to use Bitcoin. If the person is in Brazil, tell the person to use Bitcoin. Bitcoin is permissionless. Bitcoin is borderless. That's what it means. It means the US, you cannot send US dollars to Iran, but you can send Bitcoin to Iran. So if I have somebody in Iran who needs money, all I need to send him is Bitcoin so I can have a livelihood. Same thing in Venezuela. If I can send the dollar to Venezuela because it's been blacklisted under the US Treasury system, but I can send Bitcoin because Bitcoin is borderless. Another fact you've got to know about Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is not a racist. So many currencies discriminate against black or white, but Bitcoin does not discriminate. Hence, you can use Bitcoin if you're black, you can use Bitcoin if you're white, You can use Bitcoin if you're 5 years old. You can use Bitcoin if you're a grandma. You can use Bitcoin if you're a pastor. You can use Bitcoin if you're an imam. You can use Bitcoin if you're if you're a herbalist or a native doctor. You can use Bitcoin. Anybody can use Bitcoin. And access to the smartphone or the internet, you can use Bitcoin anywhere. So it's a groundbreaking technology, and the great fact you've got to understand. So Bitcoin is not a racist. Next, Bitcoin has been declared dead more than 344 times by the mainstream media. I want to share the secret with you before I end the podcast, and this is it. Bitcoin, every time, early this year in January or so, we had one particular exchange in Canada whose founder died, and the next on several blogs, Instant Blog and different places on Instagram, people can say the founder of Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is dead, Bitcoin is dead. No, and you keep hearing them. Sometimes you see Bitcoin crash, when Bitcoin crashed from $17,000 to $3,500, and people kept saying Bitcoin is dead. Every time they proclaim, there was a time some years ago, Bitcoin fell from $30 or so to $7. There was a time it fell from $10 to $3, and that's why we do this education, because we want to educate you so that you can go against what the mainstream media is saying. Every time the mainstream media has declared Bitcoin dead, Bitcoin rises and becomes stronger. Just this morning, before I went to do this podcast, the president of the United States of America just tweeted. I'm not a fan, so I'm going to read the tweet of Donald Trump for some of you, my listeners. And let me go on my tweet and read what Donald Trump said about Bitcoin. Of course, he said this because, you see, for the first time in history, there's going to be a lot of discussion. You see, one of the good things Satoshi Nakamoto did with Bitcoin is that he left, after creating Bitcoin and left the scene, he had to create a kind of environment, or has opened a discussion for what money is. What really is money? Who should control money? There's a lot of questions we need to start asking. Should government be the one controlling money? Should money be in the hands of bankers? Should money be in the hands of corporations? Should money be in the hands of government? Or should money be controlled by everybody, the individuals? There's a lot of questions we've got to ask. And guess what? When the Libra project came to play, it triggered a lot of discussions around what money exactly is. So today, I want to ask you, what do you think money is? What's the real definition of money? Who should control money supply in an economy? Should the government continue to do so? Should corporations do so? Or should individuals regulate themselves by using a censored resistance money that has not been controlled by the government, that does not need permission from the government to be used anywhere in the world by anyone without discrimination? And that's why I wrote my book, Crypto 101. And wherever you are, you can reach me on WhatsApp. You can reach me on WhatsApp to get a copy of your book on 07 plus 234 70 3521 9208 plus 34 70 3521 9208. You can reach me on WhatsApp directly to get the book. In my book, Crypto 101, I wrote about the history of money. See, you can't understand or appreciate cryptocurrency if you don't understand the history of money. And that's why I wrote Crypto 101, a beginner's guide to Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency. And you're going to learn what Bitcoin is, so many advantages of cryptocurrency, and what blockchain is, the history of money. When you understand and dissect the history of money, I bet you are going to love this new adventure and this new revolution happening in the world today. So Libra came to play. Libra is a Facebook project with other companies and all that. And this is what Donald Trump has to say. Okay, I'm not a fan. So this is 12th of July, 1:15 a.m. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, which are not money, whose values are highly volatile and based on thin air. Unregulated crypto assets can facilitate unlawful behavior, including drug trade and illegal activity. Similarly, focus. Facebook's liberal virtual currency will have little standing or dependability. If Facebook and other companies want to become a bank, they must seek a new banking charter and become subject to all banking regulation, just like other banks, both national and international. We have one real currency in the USA, and it's stronger than ever, both dependable and reliable. It's far the most dominant currency anywhere in the world. Of course, the president will say that, and to always be, that's the US dollars. So that's Donald Trump Listen, but let me let you know this fact. Bitcoin is underpinned by maths and cryptography. Like gravity, it works, whether you believe it or not. Now, this is one last fact about Bitcoin. This is another fact about Bitcoin you've got to know. Bitcoin is underpinned. When people say Bitcoin is backed by nothing, Bitcoin, that's not true. Bitcoin is underpinned by maths and cryptography. Like gravity, it works whether you believe it or not. Of course, I'm going to credit this quote to Winklevoss, the first Bitcoin billionaires after Satoshi Nakamoto. And guys, this is what you've got to know about Bitcoin facts. This is part 1 of this series. I'm going to be sharing more Bitcoin facts with you guys so you got to know. So what you're going to do today is click the subscribe button. This podcast is airing on different platforms: Google, iTunes, Spotify, Arthur FM, Rema World Radio, different platforms. So YouTube, so you can click the subscribe button to get a notification of when the next podcast is. And a little bit of advert for us. Next week is our Bitcoin and Crypto Traders Party. So if you're anywhere in Lagos, join us at the Bitcoin and Crypto Traders Party, July 19 in the city of Lagos. Regular ticket is $100, VIP is $200 US. And if you're here, you want to learn how to trade cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and make real profit from it. Of course, we welcome you to Cryptohub.club, the leading platform for Bitcoin, blockchain, and cryptocurrency education. Okay, guys, I don't really want to leave you, but I just have to do. And I love you guys, and it's super interesting. You're part of the movement that is helping to bring in a new world order for currency. The currency war started, and I'm alive to see it. What will you do for us today? Share this podcast. Share it with your friend. If you know anyone who is skeptical about Bitcoin, tell them to buy Crypto 101 and tell them to follow this podcast. And I'm going to educate you real good on what Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies currencies are and what they are doing and how they are changing global finance. My name is Chris Annie again, the founder of Cryptohub.club and the host of Cryptolife podcast. I want to see you again in episode 4, where we're going to be mentioning more Bitcoin facts. And in this Bitcoin fact, I'm going to even share with you how you can even create wealth with Bitcoin. I want to see you again. Till I come your way next time, keep enjoying Cryptolife podcast. Chris Annie signing out.